May the source of wellness and healing bring healing and wellness to all of them, to all of us, soon in our day, as together we say, Amen. So this week in the Torah, we're in a double parsha, which concludes the book of Leviticus. And we are going to have a service tomorrow and an opportunity to read those very last words of the book of Leviticus, so that we can say together, what do you say when you're done with the book of the Torah? Chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek. Be strengthened, strong, strong, be strengthened. It's a go team kind of thing. So I want to talk about the first of the two parshiot that are part of our double portion, and that's Parshat Bahar. So there's actually a really beautiful piece of this week's parsha. Leviticus sometimes is a bit of a challenge, right? Because it's a lot of sacrifices, a lot of things that are hard for us to understand, because it's really a lens and a framework for worship and for connection that is very foreign to the way that we operate in contemporary Jewish times. But, you know, deep in Leviticus, as in other parts of the Torah, we find the call to make for a just society, and a call to make for a humane society. Not the humane society, but a humane society. So there's actually a social construct that we encounter in this parsha called the sabbatical year, and there's also another one called the Jubilee year. And so at this point, the Israelites are still in the desert. We're still wandering. It's years before we would enter the land and actually own our own land holdings and agricultural holdings. And we are told, God commands us that we are to, every 7 years, to let the land lie fallow, to replenish itself, as if to have its own year of Shabbat. And each 50th year, servants that had to offer their service in payment of a debt would revert to a free status, and land holdings would revert to their original owners. Think about that. Land holdings would revert to their original owners. These laws, now, these are good laws, but these laws actually, according to the Torah, apply to the land of Israel. And even today, if one of us were a farmer, is anyone a farmer? Anyone a farmer? I've had congregations where it had farmers in it. Actually, there is a farmer in our congregation. He's just not at services tonight. So even if one of us farmed our own land, we would have to do so in Israel to observe this mitzvah. It's one of the mitzvot that you can't observe without being in the land. But we do observe every 7 days, what? Shabbat, which is actually kind of modeled on the sabbatical year, or the sabbatical year is modeled on Shabbat. And the Jubilee year is also built on that, because if you think about it, 50 years is the year after 49, and 49 is 7 sets of 7. So it's like after 7 sabbatical years, or 7 sabbatical rotations, you have a Jubilee year. By withholding our work and the work of the land in the 7th year, we recognize, as Dr. Carol Ox points out, that taking the time to abandon control, to avoid productivity and striving, gives us the chance to find new kinds of nourishment. The same is true for Shabbat. We are able to refrain from the incessant work that is the mark of slavery, and appreciate time and the spiritual elements in our lives more fully. We emulate God, the God of creation, who rested on the 7th day. And in the Jubilee year, the year that prevents generations from being enslaved to servitude, we find the mirror of Shabbat's freedom. In God's eyes, there are no human masters of human servants. Servitude may be what we do sometimes, but it is not who we are. And the Shabbat is no clearer sign that our souls are bound to a different story about who we are. But there is something else that the idea of a Jubilee offers us. When the Jubilee arrived, all, quote, bets were off. People went back to living as they had before they had to sell their land, before they had gone into debt. It was like getting a do-over in a children's game. You got a second chance. And if you did not live to get a second chance, at least your progeny would. Shabbat is another chance to get a do-over. Shabbat gives us the opportunity to renew ourselves, to begin with a refreshed sense of who we are in the week to come. It is my hope and prayer for all of us that we find the pockets of rest and renewal that this Shabbat provides in these precious hours outside of time. When the field lies fallow, when the status of our lives shift, may we find the refreshment that Shabbat promises, giving us new energy and a deeper sense of self and purpose for the week to come. Ken Yehi Ratzon. May it be God's will. It's my pleasure at this time to invite forward Martina Obensky, who's going to offer some announcements and greetings.
Shabbat Shalom. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I'd like to thank our congregational choir led by Kate Greenberg for the beautiful music tonight. I remembered your name. Gerstenberg. I blew it again. Well, in any event, this is a running joke with us. And obviously to Rabbi Shoshana for leading us into Shabbat. A couple of quick notes. Wednesday is the Meals on Wheels food drive, sponsored in part by KI. Please see the event location and list of food items that you can drop off by looking at our event wall or Let's Stay Connected. L'Ador V'Ador, a celebration of generations. You should have received your invitation to our June 7th soiree. Please let the office know if you did not receive that invite, and certainly don't forget to RSVP. June 14th is our annual meeting. Most of the materials you will need for that meeting will be sent out this coming Wednesday. Please plan to attend, as it is you who guides the future of our synagogue. At the conclusion of tonight's service, please join us across the hall for our Oneg Shabbat, sponsored by the women of KI. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Martina. Shabbat Shalom. We now arrive at the point in our service when we are counting the Omer. Anyone want to guess where we're at? What's the day of the Omer? 27th. It's not the 27th. 37th. Very good. It's the 37th. The 33rd already happened this week. That was Lag BaOmer. We will rise and turn to page 278. The blessing can be found on 278. The counting can be found in your supplement right here under the big yellow square, the little yellow square. So in the middle of the page, 278, we join together, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Kitshanu B'mitzvotav V'tzivanu Al Sfirat HaOmer. And together we count. Today is 37 days, which is 5 weeks and 2 days of the Omer. Hayom Shiva Ushloshim Yom Shehem Chamisha Shavuot Ushnei Yamim LaOmer. It's my pleasure to call Rachel Cabellas forward to lead us in the Aleinu, and I'd like to call Art and Barb Hoffman forward to open the Ark. We're on page 282. You may be seated. Our thoughts now turn to those who have departed this earth. Our own loved ones, those who our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. We also call to mind the 6 million of our martyred family who perished in the Shoah, and all those who gave their lives in defense of Jewish ideals here in Israel, here in the United States, in Israel, and around the globe. Zichronam livracha. May their memories be a blessing. It's our custom here at KI that if you hear the name read of someone for whom you're saying Kaddish, that we invite you to rise and remain standing if you're comfortable doing so that we might acknowledge your loss. Tonight in the KI community, we remember the yahrzeits of Ethel Berkowitz, Henry Campbell, Ben Chernoff, Anna Chernoff, Molly Congress, Milton Gordon, Ruth Holtzel, Bess Hoffman, David Horwitz, Eric Katz, Sarah Klein, Simon Lieben, Ida Levitt, Cliff Livesey, Samuel Perlman, Morris Ratarski, Abraham Refowich, T. Milton Rockmaker, Max Traeger, Charles Ward, Adele Weissman, Sadie Weiss, Martin Weitzman, Harold Zeman, and Maisie Zeman. I invite you to add any names to this list, the names of anyone for whom you're saying Kaddish tonight. Thank you. Just a reminder that the revised final line of the blessing, or of Kaddish, is found at the bottom of the back of your handout. Barbara, please. Thank you. Zichronam livracha. May their memories be a blessing. We rise as one congregation and join together in Kaddish, page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'yalma divrach yirteh v'yamlich malchuteh, v'chayechon u'vyomechon, v'chayeh d'chol beit Yisrael, v'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam l'olmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shmei d'kudashah b'richu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mrumav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. May the one who makes peace in the highest heavens bring peace to us, to all Israel and all the world, and comfort to all who are bereaved, as together we say, Amen. You may be seated. Adonai oz le'amo yiting. God will give help unto God's people. Page 338. I'd like to call forward Iris Gordon, along with her mom, Jamie Gordon Rodriguez, to lead us in Motzi, which can be found on page 302, We Rise.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz,
So while Iris and Jamie get a little bit of the beginnings of that, I want to offer the following closing benediction. Adonai, help us to find the rest and the renewal that Shabbat provides. Help us to find the freedom and the second chance that Shabbat can be. Help us to find refreshment from the control and the creating, so that we may enter a new week more fully ready to do your will. And let us say, Amen. Shabbat Shalom. Okay, well, we'll get used to it. These people know you.
Usually hesitate. I don't. So I'm happy when I'm not, but often I wait for somebody else. We're all waiting for somebody else. What are we gonna do? Somebody else will wait for somebody else. What? It's good. That's not usually. Imitation of just because I don't want to sing the wrong note, like mess everybody up. It'd be different if it was just a solo, like then that's me.
Yeah,
I don't want to like lead everybody else.
exactly.
It's definitely my fear.
Beautiful, perfect, great sound.
Thank you.
Clearly, that loud.
Thank you for the note.